It has been a good minute since I posted a video. Mostly cuz not a lot has gone on, but mentally I just haven't had the capacity to just sit and make a video. Between job applications, updating my portfolio, the commissions, the art fight stuff. I also started to lose my voice a little bit, as you probably just heard. If I talk for too long, my voice just starts to go out. I have a lot that I want to talk about. And a lot the state of the world, the state of my artwork, the state of the art community, social media, stuff like that. But I can't squeeze it all into a 20-minute video, and I don't want to overwhelm people by squeezing it into a 20-minute video. That wouldn't be fair. So first off the top, I'm gonna talk about this piece that I'm working on. If you remember a few years ago, I want to say between 2011 and 2015, I used to go ham with OCs on Tumblr. I still have those OCs. I still have tons of OCs. But this is one that I used to post a lot, and people actually genuinely liked him. His name is Zell, which is short for Zellandis, and he is a half demon, half elf. There's a whole backstory and everything that I'm not going to get into just this second. But you've seen me draw him before on my Meet the Artist page in the little section with my OCs. But I've been struggle bussing it, trying to draw him a new reference, and nothing was working. I drew him a new reference in my physical sketchbook, and that didn't work. I drew him a new reference in my iPad in Procreate, and that didn't work. This particular reference that you guys are seeing me draw right now, the front facing and side profile were from a attempt back in 2020 or 2022 of me trying to draw him again, and it didn't work. I tried to redraw his reference and him in general when I redrew Maddie. If you remember, a couple months back I posted a character design video of my OC Maddie, who is a Unseelie Fae. Unseelie Fairy. Drawing Maddie was so easy because I knew Maddie. I knew how much I loved Maddie and how much I could connect and relate to Maddie. Zell, because of the things that happened, was a lot harder. I'm not going to go into any details because it's my personal business, but at some point, Zell and his characterization and how I navigated him as a creator became very upsetting for me. So I stopped drawing him for a very long time, from 2016 up until last year. No, this year, because I did my Meet the Artist this year. So I straight stopped drawing him because I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to draw him. I couldn't bring myself to enjoy him anymore, which was not fair to my past self or to this character that I busted my ass to make. He is so much and such a big personality that I feel like after everything that happened, for me to drop him was so disrespectful to his creation. That being said, I will give you guys just a little bit of information about him. I do plan on making his Toy House page like cleaner. Right now it's just a template with some filler text, some like lorem ipsum filler text, but I will eventually like write out his story and all that stuff. But right now my creative focus is on something else. It's a secret project. I may reinstate my Patreon for this secret project, but I don't know just yet. We'll see. So Zell is a 35-year-old professional dancer. Like I said, he's a half demon, half elf. His mother is an elf and his father is a demon. Her name is Anshi and his name is Mephistopheles. He is currently in a triad with his best friend and damn near lifelong partner, Pommy, and a vampire. He's not like a young vampire, he's kind of like a middle-aged vampire, for how I like function vampires in my universe. Named Tarlo. Zell and Pommy call him Lolo. And there is just like a big network of characters that function together. Zell has 5 kids, a set of triplets, and a set of twins. Zell himself is a twin, and he and his twin are identical. His twin's name is Charlotte Rose, and Mephistopheles gave her that name because there's a whole backstory thing with her. If you go onto my portfolio, there is a heavy metal cover that I made for college, and that cover is Charlotte and her companion in her early years. That's a whole story in and of itself. I promise, when I have the time to like write all of the OC lore down, I'll write it down for you guys. But Zell has 2 sets of kids, a set of triplets and a set of twins. The twins are Miles and May from a previous marriage. He has joint custody, so if you are not familiar with separation and custody processes, it varies from country to country, but for my experience as a kid of divorce, joint custody is kind of weird. Depending on the judge and the written custody agreement, you can have a week with one parent and a week with the other. You can have on and off holidays, so every other holiday you'll switch parents. You can have weekends, which was supposed to be my situation, where I would stay with one parent during the week and the other parent during the weekend. Never happened. But for Zell and his former partner, who is a mob boss. I promise you guys, this detailed, convoluted, intense. I promise. But for them, it's week to week. So on either Saturday or Sunday, the twins will go back to their other parents' house, and then that following weekend they'll come back to Zell's house. They don't live that far apart. They have a very good relationship. They just couldn't stay married for various reasons. Other than that, they're perfectly fine. I think that's all the information I want to fit about Zell before it gets to be too much. I'm going to talk about this process. First off, that picture that you see me working on right now, that hair is so gorgeous, and I wish I could get my hair that color. Or at least get like a wig that's that color. I love that hair color with the blonde streak and everything. I love it. Delicious. Anyway, so the process of this was pretty straightforward. I was using this as a way to refine my love for this character, who I spent a lot of years drawing. And I did. I found my love for this character again, and he's refound a place in my heart that lets me know that I healed at least a little bit from what I was dealing with. As you can see, I'm going back and forth very heavily with the hair. Zell's hair is constantly changing. I never draw Zell's hair the same way more than once. Or at least I try not to. The only consistent thing is his piebaldism, which is that spot of lighter skin and lighter hair. So the blonde, from the research that I've done, you can do your own research and like let me know if you want to. That part of hair with piebaldism cannot retain dye. So if you dye it, the dye runs out very fast as compared to the rest of your hair. So that's a fun fact. I was struggling very hard getting the streaks of blonde properly in his hair. I also, if you noticed earlier in the video, I struggled with his skin tone because I color dropped from my Meet the Artist, thought I got the right color, brought the bust from the Meet the Artist over to the character design sheet. Turns out it was the completely wrong color. Love that for me. Anyway. I also like fought very hard with his clothing color. So you'll see me like pause, then start drawing again, then pause, then start drawing again. At this point in the video, I did take like a very long break trying to find clothes that aligned with what he was wearing, to find colors, and that didn't work. I am having a bad time with colors, guys. I am having the worst time with colors. So, eventually I did find the colors that I wanted to use to kind of really like make it work. I also struggled with the background a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, because I knew, and I know for a fact that Zell's favorite colors are pink and orange, and I wanted to incorporate that into the design. As you can see, none of his clothes are pink, and the only clothing piece that's orange is that sweater, and a little bit in the dress. So I incorporated like a muted pink to a muted orange in the background. And I hated it. I left it because it worked, but I just genuinely feel like when I do character designs, when I do design sheets, when I do character sheets, I never know what to do with the background. Like, even the professional ones that I do, like the non-personal work ones that I do, sometimes it just doesn't, the background doesn't work. Leaving it blank feels wrong. Leaving it one color feels wrong. Adding just a shadow feels wrong. I don't know how to get over that feeling. I don't know how to like navigate that feeling at all. Okay, the last couple things that I want to talk about, and I have to grab my phone really quick so I can look at this thing again. Let me turn my volume on it down. Excuse me. Okay. I do want to talk about the commissions. I don't want to like get into detail like I've said in my last couple of videos, because I do have recordings of the commissions that I want to use as a navigator of talking about the commissions in whole. But I do want to talk about this a little bit, because I've noticed that prior to doing the $5 commissions, which was a very foolish thing for me to do, like it was very fucking stupid, I've noticed this entitlement, especially with individuals that are getting non-commercial work from artists. And this is based on my personal experience. Not everybody's experience is the same, and I 100% respect that. But from my personal experience, it's very fucked that certain individuals feel entitled to your time, your all of it. They feel very entitled. Even when you clarify, like, I'm going through a lot of life changes, I'm going through a lot of financial changes, so on and so on and so on, they feel entitled to you, your work, your time, so on and so on, simply because they commissioned you. And that is and I feel like there was a time, especially on the internet, where people were not let me backtrack. I feel like there was a time on the internet where commission etiquette was very prevalent and well known. Like, people would actually make comics and zines about commission etiquette. There's an etiquette to getting work from an artist. You can't just demand from an artist ever. Like, whether it's an art trade, a request, a commission, a raffle, you don't get to demand stuff from artists simply because they're doing something for you. And I think that a lot of that comes from this entitlement towards service in general, like overall. I have so much more to say, but I don't want to like bury the lead and just like dig my heels in too much for this video, especially since we're almost at the end. The only other thing that I'm gonna say in this video before I like hop off is that I'm not an influencer. I'm an artist. I'm a person that sits at a desk and draws. I am never going to be an influencer. I have never been an influencer. I am not selling you anything. If anything, I'm encouraging you to enjoy my work. And that's it. If I get sponsorships, cool. If I get, like, say for instance, Squarespace or Ohuhu or whoever the big sponsor of art YouTubers is now reaches out and says, hey, we want to send you such and such to test on your channel, I'm not gonna say no, especially if it's a product that I enjoy. Like, I genuinely enjoy Ohuhu products. That's like my go-to marker right now. I have tons of Copics, but like Ohuhu's my go-to right now. Marview Cheetle La Plumes are my A1 since day one, but overall, Ohuhu's my go-to, especially for like markers and liners, and even my well, no, I only have one, but as far as like sketchbooks go, I would love to have more Ohuhu sketchbooks, and I would love to try their acrylic markers, stuff like that. But the point of me saying this is that I'm not an influencer. Never have been, never will be. If you notice, a lot of art influencers, especially on like short form, so like YouTube Shorts, Reels, TikTok, stuff like that, they're selling you something. They're selling you a thing. And that's just not me. It never has been, never will be. At a certain point when I was younger, I was like, yeah, man, I could be an influencer. I could, you know, I could deal with internet popularity. And the reality is, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I don't want to be part of that world. I don't want to live part of that life. I just want to do art, and I want people to be happy seeing my art. I want to write my silly little stories and people be like, wow, what a good story, Eggs. That's a good story right there. That man can write a good story. That's what I want. And to be treated like I am an influencer, like people are entitled to my time, to my attention, stuff like that, it sucks. Like, I know people do it for a living and they're very happy, but that's not me. I'm not gonna be happy doing that. I just want to sit here, draw my stuff, make my little videos, tell my little funny ha-has, and move on from there. That's it. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you leave a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. If you want to watch more of my videos and you're subscribed, hit that bell. You'll get notified every time I post a video. How cool is that? If you have any suggestions, comments, or concerns about my character design, go ahead and leave it in the comments section. I might respond, you never know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!